Good evening and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Friday evening. We're back with another massive show to bring you guys tonight. But before we jump into that, do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight on into it. On the show tonight, we are going to be talking about Erik ten Hag's January frustration and reacting to some of the comments he made in his press conference earlier on today, obviously ahead of the West Ham game on Sunday. We'll be talking a little bit about Mainoo as well. I mean, I'm still in awe of what he did last night for Manchester United. Absolutely unbelievable. We'll be talking a bit about Kobe, also talking a little bit about the top four. And I'm going to be opening that part of the show up to you, the viewer, to get involved in the comment section. There's a simple question I want to ask you all. Will Manchester United get top four this season? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you don't think we'll get top four, what do you think is a realistic kind of target for the season? Let me know in the comment section below. And you know what? Let's start the show off with that topic. So just to give a bit of perspective, as it stands today on Friday evening, we are sat 7th in the table on 35 points. We are 1 point behind West Ham, who are in 6th. And then we're 8 points behind Aston Villa and 8 points behind Tottenham. Now, also just for context, there is a chance that if we finish 5th, we'll get Champions League football. So as it stands, we're 8 points off 5th or 8 points off 4th. So it makes it easy for, to form an opinion, because to finish 5th or 4th at the moment, we're currently 8 points away from that. Do I think Manchester United will get top four? You know what? And this is probably going to surprise some of you. And people will say, oh, you're only saying this because we won last night and all the rest of it. But I'll say this. Erik ten Hag has got his full strength side back now, okay? What the team we saw last night was Manchester United's best team. Yes, Mason Mount's injured. Yes, Wan-Bissaka's injured. Malacia's injured. Lindelof's injured. You know, we still do have injuries. If this was another club, there would be people complaining, saying, oh, we've still got so many injuries. You know, we are still missing probably 5 or 6 players who are in and around the first team. If you actually really, really think about it, obviously Amrabat at Africa Cup of Nations, Mason Mount's out, as I said, Malacia's out, Wan-Bissaka's out, Lindelof's out, Maguire's is still kind of on the fence of being fully fit or not. So we still are missing 6 or 7 players. But in my opinion, the team that started last night is Manchester United's best starting 11 at the moment, without a shadow of a doubt. There isn't any actually. I'm going to have to change my stance there. Onana, I don't think is our best goalkeeper, but the rest of them, the outfield players, are our best starting 11 that we have. The best 10 outfield players are the ones that played last night. And the point I'm trying to make here is, right, I think we can get top four, because I think with the team that we have now available to us, you know, if Garnacho seems to be doing well at the moment, Rasmus Højlund's finding goals, Marcus Rashford obviously got a goal and an assist, I think, last night. Bruno Fernandes was poor last night, to be fair, but usually Bruno puts in a good shift. Obviously, Casemiro and Mainoo look really strong together. Varane and Martinez is a breath of fresh air. And Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot I like as our left back and right back. Now, I think with that team, 8 points seems like a lot. Okay, I get it. It seems like a lot of points, but it's not really in the grand scheme of things. Like, it really, really isn't. All we need to do, right? If we were to beat West Ham on the weekend, we would only be 5 points off the top four. Tottenham then play Everton away from home in the 12:30 kickoff. I mean, that's going to be a very, very difficult game for Tottenham. Very difficult. And the same weekend, Aston Villa play Sheffield United away from home. Again, Sheffield United are a very difficult opponent. Aston Villa just lost 3-1 at home. What I'm saying here is I think other teams above us will drop points, and all we have to do is kind of win the next few games, and then I think we will be in that conversation. At the moment, people are probably still like, no, there's no chance, we're not going to do it, not a hope in hell. But the point I'm trying to make here is, right, if we were to get this win on Sunday against West Ham, and either Tottenham or Aston Villa were to lose away from home, I think either of them could lose, you know, to Everton or Sheffield United. Those are difficult matches. Then we could easily be in that conversation again. So do I think we can do it? I think we can do it. Yeah, I think we can. I think, it's going to be hard, but the point I'm trying to get across here is this is our best set of players that are available to us now. They are now all fit. There are no injuries. There is no issues. They're all back. So there's no excuses anymore. We need to go on a run of winning some football matches. And, that needs to start by West Ham on Sunday. you know? Because the thing you have to remember, right, look at it like this, okay? If we were to beat West Ham on Sunday, we would be 5 points off Aston Villa and West Ham. The week after, we play Aston Villa. So, you know, if results were to go our way and we put in we win the next couple of games, we would only be 1 or 2 points behind Aston Villa. So crazy things can happen. But obviously, have your say in the comment section. Do you think Manchester United will get top 4 this season? Let me know. Obviously, as I said, top 5th place could get us Champions League. So we might only need to get 5th place. But obviously, both Tottenham and Aston Villa are both on 43 points at the moment. So either way, like, it's the same points difference. But yeah, let me know what you think on that one. And let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about Ten Hag's January frustration. So obviously, Erik Ten Hag did his press conference earlier on today, and he talked about the January window. He talked about players he wanted to sign, and he talks about his frustration, really. And in short, the main kind of taking point from Erik Ten Hag's press conference was that he did want to sign another striker in January. Erik Ten Hag has openly admitted that. He's admitted that he really wanted to sign a striker in January. But it wasn't possible because of financial fair play. Now, I know some people think that financial fair play is like a made-up thing. It's not. Financial fair play does exist. Newcastle are in a similar position. Arsenal are in a similar position. There's lots of clubs at the top end of the table who spent heavily in the summer and are now a little bit restricted on what they can do going, in a January transfer window. Now, from what I've heard and from the information that I read, Manchester United's primary focus for January was to get rid of players. And we did that quite well. You got rid of Donny, Jadon Sancho, Pellistri, Hannibal. Like, we got rid of about 6 or 7 players who were kind of not really going to get any game time. And I know people will say, most of them are only loans, but quite a few of them have buy options. You look at Alvaro Fernandez, you look at Pellistri, you look at Hannibal. Like, all of those people have buy options. So I think we did do quite well in the outgoings department in January, if I'm being honest. Like, we got rid of quite a few players. We were never going to get rid of, the Maguires or the Scott McTominays. Like, that was never going to happen in a January window. But, overall, I think the window was fine. I would have liked to have a striker, but I would rather have not got Choupo-Moting, Daniel says, I thought Garnacho was contender for man of the match last night. Yeah, mate, Garnacho was unbelievable last night. Absolutely unbelievable. Andrew says, our problem for the last couple of seasons has been goals. When will we address this? I hear you, mate, but I mean, we scored 4 goals last night. If anything, you could say our defence was the issue last night. Like, we should have not conceded. We should have been, at half-time, honestly, we should have been about 4-0 up. We had so many opportunities to score last night. It was the same against Newport. We genuinely could have put about 8 or 9 past Newport the week before. And for us to score 4 goals against Wolves and then 4 goals against Newport is positive. It is. It's a positive step in the right direction. And, we need to take that into the game against West Ham on Sunday. And we really, really have to win that game. Otherwise, this whole conversation of top 4 is pretty much pointless. If we don't win against West Ham on Sunday afternoon, then I would say top 4 is probably going to be out of reach, because Newcastle will probably go above us, Brighton will probably go above us, and all the rest of it. But if I'm being honest, considering where we started the season, if we were to get top 4 now, I would say that has been a successful season. Even if we were to get 5th and get Champions League that way, I would say it's been a successful season, and we just have to hope that we potentially go and win the FA Cup. That's what we have to hope. Mount says, we played like a team last night, which was really good to see. Yeah, we did, mate. People weren't being selfish. People were crossing the ball. It was so nice to see. It was really, really good. Andrew says, look at our goal tally on the table. It's sad. I hope we find our form soon. Yeah, obviously our goal difference is a disgrace at the moment. We're on -4. Brentford, who are sat 15th in the table, have got -5. Everton, who are 18th in the table, have -4, the same as us. They are 11 places lower than us, and they've got -4 goal difference. That's crazy, isn't it? Obviously, they've had a points deduction, so maybe that's a bit of an unfair argument. But so in short, Ten Hag, frustration. He's very, very frustrated. Daniel says, I've mentioned the set-piece coaches on channels for ages, and everyone's saying the same now. Yeah, mate, the set-piece coach is a joke. I'm sorry. Like, he's been here for years. We don't score from free kicks. We don't score from we don't defend corners well. We don't defend free kicks well. It's a joke. AD says we had our best team and we won. Yeah, exactly, mate. And I think, when we were criticising Erik ten Hag earlier on in the season and he was having to play players like McTominay, Johnny Evans, Maguire, like, he wasn't doing that out of choice. He was doing that because those were the only people who were available. So we have to remember that, when people are saying Erik ten Hag out and all the rest of it, a lot of the poor performances this season have been players who shouldn't even be at the club anyway. And, that's something that we can hope to rectify in the summer window. Right, a little bit on Kobbie Mainoo then. I have to say, this guy is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I love Kobbie Mainoo. I think I've said this to you many, many times on the show before, but him, Garnacho and Martinez are my 4 favourite players. I love them. I love all 3 of them. I love their energy. I love their determination. I love their hunger. I love their passion for for Manchester United. Like, even though Martinez is, from Argentina and doesn't support Manchester United, you can see how much it means to him. The same with Garnacho. And obviously Kobbie is from Manchester and's come through the youth academy. But my point being here is that, Garnacho and Martinez play like they've come through the youth academy and that they love the club and they love the city. Like, you can see that when they go out on that pitch, they give 150%. Whereas some of the other players, I know obviously we won last night, but there is, still question marks over their attitude. Obviously, Marcus Rashford had a good game last night, got a goal. So I'm not going to criticise him, but there has been question marks over Marcus Rashford's attitude this season. Absolutely love Kobbie Mainoo though. Really, really happy. Lumen says, Kieran, didn't Erik ten Hag make mistakes with the lineups and substitutions in the past, or was it only the unavailability of key players? To be honest with you, mate, I think that Erik ten Hag made the best of what he could with the situation he had. He was missing so many players. You have to remember that. So many people were injured. There was a point where we had over 10 first-team players injured, The whole of our back 4 was gone. Casemiro was out. Like, all of the spine of our team was gone and we were getting overrun. And you can't just say that's because Erik ten Hag's a poor manager. I think that's a bit of an unfair, analysis of it. You have to look at the injuries. Now, obviously, other teams have injuries as well. Who's the other team that's had the most injuries this season? Chelsea. Where are Chelsea? 10th place. So, imagine if Liverpool were missing 10 of their first-team players. They wouldn't be first place. Imagine if Man City were missing, Haaland, Grealish, Rodri, Ruben Dias, Edison. Like, imagine if they were missing all of those players for 10, 15 games in the Premier League. They wouldn't be top. I'm sorry. They'd be probably still in the top 4, but they wouldn't be up near the top. So yeah, we've got to give him a bit of credit, I think, where it's due. Malk says we have to drop Onana. Yeah, I mean, that's the only player for me from that starting 11 who should be dropped. I don't think Erik ten Hag will drop him because I think his hope is that if he keeps playing him, he'll get through this rough patch and he'll suddenly come good. But as it stands, I think that Onana is in big trouble, to be completely honest with you, at Manchester United. Like, he has been terrible this season. At least 2 of the goals last night, I think, he could have at least attempted to save. Lumen says, Kieran, I didn't watch the game last night, but please tell me what other qualities Rashford offered apart from the goal. He was working much harder. He was tracking back. He was running at people. He was taking them on and actually, going past them. He looked hungry. He looked motivated to perform. Now, is that just because of what's been going on in the media? Potentially. Is he going to have a stinker against West Ham? Maybe, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he continues with this form. But yeah, I'm feeling quite positive this morning, or this evening, sorry, and I'm hoping that we can, kick on from this, and by this time next week, hopefully we're maybe 3 or 4 points off the top 4, and then there's a serious push to try and get into those top 4 places, because as good as Aston Villa have been, I think they will slip up. They lost to Newcastle 3-1 at home last week, wasn't it? And I just think they will slip up personally. But we're a long way away, guys. We've still got 16 games left of the season. Obviously, there's a lot still to play for, a lot of massive games left. But, last night was a positive result, of course. But I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I hope everyone has a lovely weekend. There won't be any videos tomorrow because I'll be having a day off, but I'll be back on Sunday for a match reaction for the West Ham game. So I hope everyone has a nice evening. Enjoy your weekends. I'll speak to you on Sunday. This has been Daily Red Devil. Please smash a like on the video before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and speak to you all a bit later.